Hey guys, Scott back again with a new beer dissection video, or I should call it tonight, sour dissection video. What I have for us is from Collective Arts Brewing Company called Jam Up the Mash. Okay, it's a dry hopped sour, 5.2% ABV. Those of you that know me personally, maybe don't even, maybe possibly don't even follow me on YouTube. No, I'm not a huge fan of sours, but I do these on this channel for a few reasons. One, just to stir it up a little bit. And I know a lot of you do like sours. So I like to try to, keep everything fresh and as exciting as possible. But this is from Collective Arts Brewing Company, which I don't believe I've had a beer from them. What's interesting is a lot of times I can't get to the beer stores myself, so I'm ordering some beers from a local place, and they call me up and they're like, "Oh, we don't have this. Why don't you try that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, send it on over." And they send it over, and so sometimes it's fun because it kind of gives me new material for my videos and something that I would never maybe have picked up myself. So whether I like it or I don't like it, it's fun and exciting. This is at 5.2% alcohol. It's a dry hop sour. They're using Vic Secret, Citra, and Mosaic. Now remember, dry hopping, I did a whole video on dry hopping. I don't know if it's been published yet, depending on when you're watching this video. But remember, dry hopping towards the tail end of fermentation, they'll do a few charges of hops, maybe once or twice before packaging, whether it's kegging or bottling or canning it. And it gives a lot more hop aroma. Okay, I'm not going to go into biotransformation, and it kicks up sometimes fermentation a little bit and things like that. They call it creep, and I'm not going to go into that. But for the most part, it's for a little bit more flavor, definitely aroma than they do dry hopping with this. So again, they did a sour. Now souring, most of the time after they do the mash again, they put I'm just going to keep it very simple, hot liquids in the grains. It produces that thick, sugary syrup called wort, W-O-R-T, even though we pronounce it wort. They put lactobacillus in there. Think of lactobacillus from, lactic acid. And it sours the beer. A lot of times it's for 12, 24 hours. And then they continue the fermentation, the brewing process by boiling it and adding hops and stuff like that. So again, I don't know the 100% process that this particular company does, but that's the typical thing that's done in souring a beer. Because usually in the cellar, they don't want any lactobacillus. That's usually not desirable in most beers, other than sours and sometimes Flanders Red and things like that from Rodenbach. So again, this is a dry hop sour. So they're souring it and then dry hopping it before packaging. Now, Collective Arts Brewing Company is, it's funny, they say the art is Karen Emery, Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, but I don't know if this brewery is very possibly it is from Canada too. Product of Canada. Import Collective Arts, Stowe, Vermont, product of Canada. Again, you could tell I'm drinking this blind with you like other beers, and that's what makes this fun when I'm doing this channel. I sometimes just like to blindly open up a beer, take a look at it with you first time, do my video, and we go from there. So again, whether it's Stowe, Vermont or Canada, whatever it may be, we're going to crack this bad boy open here in a second. And that's it. So pretty nice looking can. Okay, I probably have it popping over my shoulder. I'll just turn it here instead of doing probably a whole, twist on the can on the video, which sometimes I do. Okay, but it is a very artsy-fartsy can. 5.2%, as I said, dry hop sour. So again, I'm not a huge fan of sours, as I said in the beginning of the video, but you know what? Let's try this out anyway, regardless. All right, so, and of course it's a 16-ounce can. I'm using off camera here my typical tulip glass. And remember, some sours, like, traditional sours like a Gosa uses lactobacillus. You get some of your Flanders Red that has some lactobacillus character, as well as sometimes Brettanomyces and things like that. You have some sour beers. Those are done. The souring there sometimes is a little bit different with that, but I don't want to go down that wormhole. This one again from Collective Arts, very nice, couple inch white, pretty dense foam. I mean, you got like a little bit of frothing, like kind of like whipping egg whites for a meringue, okay, in there. And a nice medium to dark straw color. You got that haze in there. Again, I don't know the grist on this, if they're using wheat. Sometimes with wheat, you're going to get a little more protein, creates the haze. They do that. You've watched any of my IPA videos. Same thing happens, creates some of the haze. But very nice looking beer and or sour. Okay, so let's take a sniff of the aroma. Oh yeah, you definitely, it's like you got a bunch of lemons ground up in a bowl or something like that. You got the aroma of the citrus, lemon. If you want to even say some lime in there, aroma. Very, very nice though. Malt, not much there with the malt, probably doughy, flour kind of, and you can even tell from the color. You're not getting much malt backbone to this as far as the aroma is concerned. But there's definitely that like dank, lemon, lime, pithy zest that you'd have. Yeah, so even if someone wanted to argue that there was a touch of grapefruit aroma, but I think it's more lemon, lime. But pretty good. But again, I'm not, I don't drink a lot of sours, but it smells pretty good. I'm expecting this is going to be kind of very refreshing. So anyway, guys, cheers. Whoa. No doubt, this is a sour. The acid on it hits you on the front end, which most beers, the acidity will hit you on the front end. You wait about 10, 30 seconds, up to 30 seconds, you kind of get the bitterness. This kind of hits you with the acidity. Hangs out for about 3 seconds and then fleets away. And you're kind of left with that lemony, lime, neutral malt, like kind of that bread dough kind of malt. But without a doubt, I could see how something like this, I'm filming this at the end of June, can replace some of your other patio crushers. It's that, the acidity, the carbonation, because it's kind of medium carbonated. It's interesting is that I know it's only dry hopped, and dry hopping, usually we get the bitterness from the hops is at the boil, especially when it boils for 60, 90 minutes. There's not much bitterness here. Even though I'm going, wow, I'm cringing my eyes, that's more of the acid from the lemon and the citrus. There's not much, there's maybe moderate bitterness at very most. But it dies out pretty quickly. It kind of fleets away. Like I don't want to, maybe for the first 3 to 5 seconds, you feel like you're sucking on a lemon, but then it goes away. I don't pick up, again, I just still get that dank lemon, pithy lime. Aroma. I mentioned before, kind of medium to high carbonation. Not as high as your Duvel or a lot of your Belgian beers, but very refreshing. I mean, it's pretty good. Again, I'm not a big fan of sours usually because I don't even know why I don't like sours that much. I mean, maybe because I don't usually like to feel like I'm sucking on lemon, whether it's 1 minute or 1 second or 10 seconds. But this is pretty nice. It kind of drinks like a Gosa without the coriander. Remember, Gosa has the acidity, has coriander, lactobacillus, but usually a little bit salt. It has some salt in it. This one has no salt at all. So if you like Gosas, you'd probably like this. It's almost a little bit like a Berliner Weiss also. It gives you that tart lemon lime without the salt and not the coriander. So I should probably say it probably drinks more like a Berliner Weiss than a Gosa. But pretty nice and refreshing, guys. There's really not much knock to it other than if I don't particularly like the style. I don't necessarily say I'm going to buy like, a case of this beer because, again, sours are not my thing all the time. But if you do like sours, this may be something you want to check out. Pretty clean, crisp. I would say it's crushable, but again, I don't find like, again, that 1 to 5 seconds of sourness in the front end, the acidity being somewhat crushable. But, you're having barbecue, thick barbecue sauce. You want something to cut through it. This sour or many sours will work. So anyway, guys, this Jam Up the Mash dry hop sour. Now, I should mention, I don't get a ton of, I'm not going to say I don't get any hop aroma. I don't know if I'm getting the, again, since I've just opened it, I almost should open one up and then do the video. So I can kind of really take this in a little bit. I'm doing this on the fly. There's like a little herbal, character to the hops also. Not really, maybe floral, herbal, lemongrass. But again, it's more of that kind of lemon, lime, zest, pithy type of aroma that you get on there. So anyway, in the world of sours, again, I told you, I admitted I don't drink a ton of sours. So it's tough for me to criticize it too much. But I've had some sours. Overall enjoyability as far as just a regular beer or just something you maybe grab in your friend's chest, beer chest when you're on the deck or something in the summertime. My overall enjoyability, it's definitely a B-. Again, I'm not a huge fan of sours. If I had this, comparing it to other ones, I may boost it up a little bit. But I really can't knock the beer, even though I say B-. It's just maybe because I'm just a little more biased because I'm not a huge fan of sours. And that's why I say it's more of an overall, B- enjoyability. Because, again, my subjective opinion on it. But I believe it's pretty well made. I mean, I don't catch any off flavors with this. I don't believe there's any malt shift going on. So I think if you really enjoy sours and you like Gosas or German Berliner Weiss, which I've done, I think a What Is style on my channel, take a look at that. And I think it was from Lake Placid Pub and Brewery. I did a Berliner Weiss video on there. You like some of that acid bite in there. I think this is pretty good. So anyway, guys, from Collective Arts Brewing Company, tonight's beer dissection from Stowe, Vermont and Canada. Little snazzy can here that we have. Jam Up the Mash dry hop sour. Pretty good. I think if you like sours, I think you'd enjoy this. It's not my go-to all the time, but lemon, lime, acidity on the front end, low to moderate bitterness. Again, pretty low alcohol, sessionable, so you could probably have 2 or 3 of them and not really feel anything. I would, check them out. All right, guys, till the next beer dissection video. Hopefully that was fun, and have a great night. Take care. Bye.